Hello, my fiery friends, the Infernoman here with the latest in budget deck technology. And for today's deck tech, we're going to be covering a deck that I actually have a copy of. That's right, I'm actually deciding to put together one of my own personal decks onto Arena. Now, obviously, the version that you're seeing right here is going to be a little bit different than the one I actually have in paper because we don't exactly have every single card in Arena. But that's okay, everybody. I wanted to challenge ourselves and see, can we put together a budget deck on Arena for Historic Brawl again, just like our previous ones? And the answer is yes, we can. But how good is it going to be? Well, before we even answer that question, let's cover what the heck we're trying to do. If you have seen Niv Mizzet before, it's not anything new to us, but as for why we're doing this now, I just, again, love this card and I wanted to play some Historic Brawl with one of my personal favorite decks. In any case, let's kind of cover again the three ways we're going to try to win with this deck. Option number one is we're going to try to ping out our opponent with cards such as Electrostatic Field or Firebrand Archer. We have cards such as Gutter Snipe. We have also Thermal Alchemist. You basically get the idea. Any of these cards that it has on the field will do 1 damage to our opponent, whether we cast non-creature spells. Most of them are going to be instants and sorceries because we want to make sure we have that synergy regardless of whichever one or two we have out. And as we keep pinging our opponent, we're going to hopefully try to whittle them down just weak enough so we can then finish them off with something like, say, a Skewer the Critics or something like a Royal Eruption. They basically are going to just help us ensure that we can just keep getting that damage in and then just finish off our opponent. If that also does not work, we also have a way of kind of blending that in together. So with that, we have two ways of either going big or going wide. So going big, we have Sprite Dragon, Crackling Drake, or Stormkiln Artist. These cards will get stronger with certain conditions being met. Crackling Drake, of course, will get stronger, equal to the amount of instant or sorcery cards we own in our graveyard and in exile. So even if our opponent exiles our board, Crackling Drake still can do some damage. Stormkiln Artist wants to have artifacts out there. However, it creates treasures whenever we cast a copy an instant or sorcery spell. So that means it can get ourselves bigger, but we also have another big creature. Well, actually, it starts off small. Sprite Dragon is only a mere 1/1. However, whenever we cast a non-creature spell, it will put a +1/+1 counter on itself and become really big. So putting these all together, we can ping out our opponent, put in one of our big threats, and smash our opponent. However, the other option I did mention was we can also go wide. So going wide means we're utilizing our cards such as Murmuring Mystic. We have Third Path Iconoclast. We have our Young Pyromancer. Whenever we cast instants or sorceries, they will create tokens for us that will allow us to go wide and hit our opponent or otherwise just gum up the board. However, we can make these tokens a lot more effective if we use a single copy of First Day of Class. The sweet 2-mana instant spell will allow us to put +1/+1 counters on any creature that enters the battlefield this turn, and that gives them haste. So as you can imagine, if we can kind of spell sling our way and then create a bunch of tokens with haste and a little extra power to them, we can catch our opponent off guard and get to victory. There are going to be a couple other cards that we can use to kind of help build that plan up, such as the Healy Sublime Artificer. We have Improbable Alliance, but basically you get the idea that we want to have that as plan B to the deck. Now, the jankiest option we have is plan C. Plan C utilizes our commander itself. Niv Mizzet is going to be a 6-mana dragon wizard that cannot be countered. Whenever you draw a card, Niv Mizzet will deal 1 damage to any target, and whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery, we draw a card. We need to add to this specifically Curiosity. Real quick, we do have other cards that allow us to draw cards as auras, such as Curious Obsession and Combat Research, but these cards have a very specific condition of you have to do combat damage to a player. Curiosity doesn't have that. Instead, with Curiosity, as it says, whenever enchanted creature deals damage to an opponent, you can draw a card. So with that, Curiosity attached to the Niv Mizzet allows us to then ping out our opponent, we draw a card, keep pinging our opponent, and we go infinite to get to victory. So those are the three main ways of how we are going to try to get there. Otherwise, the rest of the deck is just going around that plan to support it. We have cards that can also kind of go big on their own, such as Terramander. We have cards such as Dragon's Rechanneler that are kind of going to go big, but at the same time provide us utility by surveilling. Spectral Sailor, for example, can also help us draw cards in the mid and late game. Goblin Electromancer can cheapen the cost of some of our higher end instants or sorceries. We have a ton of instants or sorceries, speaking of which, I'm not going to go over every single one of them, but you can kind of see the list right now. We have everything from cards that give us options such as either countering target spells or drawing cards and discarding cards. We can then utilize in the mid or late game cards such as Blitz of the Thunder Raptor, which get more effective as the game goes on. We have protection spells such as Keep Safe that are also technically counter spells. Speaking of those, we do have, of course, counter spells such as Make Disappear and Negate. We have cards that can also get rid of artifacts such as a Brave. trade, bouncing away enchantments such as Stern Dismissal. We also have Slip Out the back also as another option. Card draw, bounce spells, some more utilities such as Clear the Mind, help us reset our entire graveyard and bring back everything back into our library. Cards such as Flood of Recollection, so that way we can reutilize any one of our instants or sorceries. And then some more utility with cards such as Elemental Masterpiece or Creative Outburst, which can create some treasure tokens if we need to do some pseudo ramping. As far as the enchantments and artifacts, not too much, again, because we don't want to lean into that. We are focusing on trying to be a spell slinger deck, but we do have cards such as Wizard's Class. I mentioned already those auras such as Combat Research, Curiosity, and Curious Obsession. Soul Guide Lantern is going to be your Graveyard Hate. Ominous Seas can create some really big cracking creature tokens if we keep drawing cards. We have Arcane Signet, which is a staple for us. Izzet Locket is mostly here for flavor because of who Niv Mizzet is. As far as your land base is concerned, we're just going to have 7 basic mountains, 7 basic islands, and everything else is going to be tap lands, cycle lands, and some utilities on the far end here. You can see, again, we have Demolition Field as an option for us, Evolving Wilds, Maestro's Theater to, again, get another copy of something out to gain some life, Mirrodin's Court, we can then kind of charge it when we need to get whatever mana we need to fix later on in the game. And since we're drawing a ton of cards, we got to have a copy of Reliquary Tower. But otherwise, that is the whole deck for you in a giant nutshell, everyone. But of course, the number one question we need to ask ourselves is, can this budget deck actually pull off a win or two? Can we get to victory by being on a budget? Well, the only way we're going to find out is having a game or two and seeing how this deck works. But before we continue, if you do like any of the content that I do, please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch the content so you don't miss out on any of the gameplay, booster pack openings, deck decks, and so much more. Okay, everybody, so here we go. We're playing our Niv Mizzet Budget Brawl deck for all of you, and let's see what we have in our hand here. So we've got 3 lands. We got mostly blue, but that's okay because Evolving Wilds actually can get us that blue mana. So let's keep this. Gutter's Type can help kind of slowly drain them out a bit. So where are we playing at? Haktos. That's going to be an interesting fight. Let's see how this goes. Let us... Evolving Wilds. We'll pass. Let's see what they do. Right, Mountain. Larg, Dean of Chaos. Sack. Get our blue mana out. So there's our island. Alright, and we draw. Royal Eruption. Okay, that can be helpful right now. So with that, let us... Royal Eruption. Get rid of the Dean. Thunderstone. So we need that wash away to counter their Haktos for a moment. Heraldic Banner. On white. Okay, so that means that's definitely coming down next turn. So with that, Izzet Locket. Is he coming in now? Perforos. Not quite what I was expecting, but that's fine, actually. Alright, so Mountain. Play the Mountain. We can then Murmuring Mystic. And pass the turn. Haktos coming in. This is now we get to do our dirty deed here. Wash away, everybody. Okay, this is when actually this card's good. There we go. Much better. Okay. Alright, so Haktos is going to go back to him, but that means it's going to cost him now more mana. That's perfectly fine. This now gives us a small edge here. Alright, so let's see. We have Gutter Snipe. Play that now. We will then swing. Ooh, Source of Plowshare. Wow. Okay. That's fine. That's actually okay. We can still get this. Chart a course. Hang for 2. Draw 2. Highland Lake. Alright. We're looking pretty good here. We have all of our mana. Niv Mizzet's ready to come down. Curious Obsession is not Curiosity, but that still helps us draw cards. So let's see if this works. Haktos coming in. That hurts, but it's not the end for us. Alright, so, Command Tower. Niv Mizzet coming down. We have... Ping. Down to 21. Down to 18. Okay, so we're doing okay right now. Let's see, Haktos has to be 3 in order to stop him. Immortal Sun's not the worst against us. Okay. Down to 17 here. So, let's see if we can do this. Expressive Iteration. Ping. Ping. Let's see, Combative Research, Obliterating Bolts, Demolition Field. Let's see, how do we want to do this? Okay, so Combat Research, Obliterating Bolt, Demolition Field into our exile. Play that. Combat Research on there. Actually, let's go swinging now. Down to 6. We draw a card. Ping again.
This is where the fun begins.
Okay, actually we can do this now. Okay. Clear the mind. Oh, I think we got there. Did we get there? Draw a card. Ping. And the festivities. All right. We got there, everybody. We got there. Yes. All right. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. So real quick, I thought I messed up because, wait, I should have attacked with the bird illusion, but then I realized we actually was able to combo off there. So yeah, not too bad, right? There you go. That's how the deck is meant to be played. Okay, everybody. So here we go. We're playing our Niv Mizzet deck on a budget, and let's see. We got Expressive Iteration, Elemental Masterpiece, Sprite Dragon. Okay, I think this is pretty good. We can keep this. We've got 3 lands. Play the Mystic Sanctuary now. This is not going to really do anything for us if we got it in the early game. Opponent's playing Prosper Tomebound. Oh boy, this is a very popular commander right now. But we're going to make it work, everybody. So with that, I'm going to pass the turn. Conspiracy Theorist. Throw this away, make a treasure. Another island. Okay, so Guild Gates. Actually, we'll wait. I know. We want to hold off our treasure until we absolutely have to crack it. At least until we can have that untapped red source. I was going to go attacking here. Do they discard? They do. Go away at land. Interesting. So technically we have the Curiosity combo in hand, everybody. And okay, we got Ominous Seas. That's actually not too bad. So we have a couple ways we can actually get to victory here. I think. Let's go Sprite Dragon. I want to see what our opponent is, if they have any removal. Ominous Seas. Pumps up the Sprite Dragon. There you go, swinging. They're down to 23. Pass the turn. Okay, so we have a couple options here. So we can pull off the Niv Mizzet Curiosity combo. But we also can go off with a bunch of tokens, and we can, if we keep drawing cards, unless if our opponent has a way to remove this enchantment, eventually it'll start making Krakens. Down to 21. Here comes Prosper. Okay, flash. Oh, that would have been great a turn ago. Doesn't help us now, but that's fine, everybody. Okay, so I think we Expressive Iteration. Let's see. Okay, so we got a couple things here. Prismari Campus in our hand. Evolving Wilds goes to the bottom. Combat Research. Here's why. Since our opponent's tapped out, we can put this on there now. Prismari Campus comes down. Go swinging. They're down to 19, so we're going big right now. Draw a card. We're past the turn. Okay, so we have enough red sources to bring in Niv Mizzet, but we need to wait a turn to get Spikefield Hazard tapped. Wash Away actually isn't too bad here because if anything is not in their hand, we can still make it. We can still hit them. Okay, they're making treasures, plenty of treasures. They go swinging. Okay, discard a card, draw a card. Madness. They make a treasure. We can wash that away. Make our Sprite Dragon bigger. I'm trying to hopefully they'll play some kind of removal. Even if they don't play removal, we still can get some card draw out of this. Totley. Oh boy. This is a problem for us. That is a big problem for us. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, everybody. Maybe we shouldn't have put in that many tap lands. It's kind of coming back to bite us right now. It's fine. Tap land. We have enough to bring in Niv Mizzet, but we don't really have a means to protect him for a turn. I think Young Pyromancer. Go swinging. Hopefully we get a good hit here. They're down to 14. At the very least, we have some now chump blocking to do. We will pass. Mounted for our opponent. Make a treasure. One's gonna go swinging. They're doing its thing. What did they exile? Okay, Thermal Alchemist. Dream Devourer. Prosper Tomebound. Do they discard? They do, okay. Draw a card. So we have to block here. Block a Totley. We're down to 15. So we're not in a good spot right now, but if we can get at least one more untapped source, we could win on the next turn. It all comes down to this. Master Mario, okay. Opponent is, they're doing their thing here. Fabricate 3. This is a huge turn for us, everybody. Light up the stage. We go down to 10. Okay, so let's see. Can we do this? Is it lock it? Doesn't do it specifically, but here's how we're gonna do this. Okay, so Niv Mizzet. Put on Niv Mizzet the Curiosity. We crack our treasure. They ping us. And they ping us again. Oh, I forgot they... Oh, man. Oh, we were so close to getting that off, everybody, but that's fine. We just needed one more turn, but you could see we were so close to getting that. And there you have it, everybody. So that was our Niv Mizzet deck for you on a budget. So you tell me in the comments below, what do you think? My only thought I was going to say is, oh, that last match, we were so close. We needed one more turn. But I realize now that maybe we should probably consider a couple more. Maybe we should consider some more basic lands. I don't know. You let me know in the comments below. Feel free to yell at me for that one. Again, I'm still playing around this deck myself a little bit. So if you do like it, I will definitely say, though, the deck is more than capable of pulling things off. You saw we were very close again to that combo. We just needed to get a little bit further along. But considering, however, that we are a budget deck with only one rare, I actually don't think that was too bad. So my only final thought I'm just going to say with this is you definitely want to upgrade that land base as soon as possible. So if you are interested, I will show you right now what I would consider as a possible upgrade path for this deck. Here is what you see on screen right now is what I would recommend. Again, this is just a sample. So again, if there are certain ways you want to play this more towards, maybe the token side, or maybe you want to go more spell slinger, be sure to then experiment. Again, one of the cool things I do like about Historic Brawl is you can kind of experiment and mess around with things and make things your own. So the version that you see on screen right here focuses a little bit more on trying to make some treasure tokens. We're going to try to go a little bit more spell slinger heavy and get more combo things going. We also have other ways of filtering through our deck using some better planeswalker options. We're going to also try to see if we can draw a lot more cards and create better tokens that are going to be able to swing or at least block for ourselves before our opponent tries to get their game plan out. We do have 2 additional ways of winning now in the deck, so we're going to be adding in a copy of Grape Shot. We're going to be adding in a copy of Runaway Steamkin and Grinning Ingus. I actually have this combo personally in my own actual deck that I have. So my paper one does have this combo where you basically want to just cast Grinning Ingus, and then you want to make sure that you have just enough counters on Runaway Steamkin so that way you can trigger off its ability, get that 3 mana back, which can then pay for Grinning Ingus exactly 3 more times and keep this infinite loop going. The reason why you want to do this is once you have enough and you then bring back that Grinning Ingus at the right moment, you can then cast off a Grape Shot and then storm off and take out your opponent. If any of this stuff still doesn't work for whatever reason, yes, we also have Thassa's Oracle as another backup plan in order to ensure we can get to victory. But again, I'm not going to go over every single card in the deck. If you are interested, just basically look at all the rares and mythics that are available to you and kind of start figuring out what you want to do. I don't want to put any of you as my fiery friends into a specific position as to how you should play this deck. That's one of the cool things, again, about Historic Brawl and by extension Commander. You are playing basically what expresses you the most out of this. But regardless of however you do want to play Niv Mizzet, whether you do want to try out the budget version that I've put out there, or you actually want to upgrade it because maybe you're a fan of Spellslinger, maybe you're a fan of creating a bunch of tokens. However you want to play this, you have plenty of ways to go for. I can assure you, no matter how you want to play Niv Mizzet Deck as your commander, you will definitely not be disappointed. That's all I have for you today. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. Later!